beyond the boundaries of reality, where imagination weaves dreams into existence. Welcome to Storylight. Deep in the Vale of Embers, where the sun never fully rose, stood the Tower of Lanterns. It was said to hold the eternal flame, the source of all light in the darkened world. Few had seen the lantern keepers, mysterious figures sworn to protect the flame. But their existence was undeniable. One misty evening, an unusual dimness spread across the vale. The lanterns along the village paths, which never faltered, began to flicker. Cora, a young apprentice blacksmith, noticed first. Her hands froze mid-hammer as her gaze fixed on the fading glow outside her workshop. "It's the flame," she whispered to herself. "If it dies." She dared not finish the thought. Determined, she gathered her courage and made her way to the village square. Elder Rin, a hunched but sharp-eyed leader, was already addressing a nervous crowd. "The flame is weakening," Rin announced gravely. "We've sent messengers to the tower, but none have returned. We must act before darkness consumes us." Cora stepped forward, her heart pounding. "I'll go," she said, her voice steadier than she felt. "I can find out what's wrong." The elder's eyes narrowed. "You're skilled, Cora, but the tower's path is treacherous. Are you certain?" Quote, "I've learned to face fire every day at the forge," she replied, gripping the small hammer she always carried. "I'll do whatever it takes." Reluctantly, Rin nodded. "Take this," he said, handing her a brass medallion etched with an ancient sigil. "It's a token of trust. The keepers may grant you passage if they still guard the tower." The path to the Tower of Lanterns wound through the shadowwood, a forest of twisted trees and creeping mist. Legends spoke of creatures lurking there, drawn to the light but consumed by its absence. Cora clutched a lantern from the village as she entered the woods, its flickering flame her only guide. Each step felt heavier, the air thick with an unnatural chill. Suddenly, the mist coiled around her, and shadowy figures emerged. Hollow-eyed wraiths whispering in a language she didn't understand. One reached for her lantern, its skeletal fingers inches away. Cora swung her hammer instinctively, the clang of metal dispersing the wraith. The others hissed and retreated into the fog, but their presence lingered. Cora pressed on, her grip tightening on the lantern. "Keep moving," she muttered. "The flame needs me." At last, she reached the tower, its massive iron doors standing ajar. Inside, the air was heavy with the scent of smoke and ash. The grand hall was lined with extinguished lanterns, their glass cracked and blackened. Cora's footsteps echoed as she ascended the spiral staircase, each step revealing more signs of decay. At the top, she found a circular chamber where the eternal flame should have burned brightly. Instead, the brazier held only a faint ember, its light barely illuminating the room. 3 figures stood around the brazier, their cloaks tattered and their faces obscured by hoods. "Are you the keepers?" Cora asked cautiously. The figures didn't respond. Steeling herself, she stepped closer. "You've sworn to protect the flame. Why is it dying?" Quote, one keeper finally spoke, their voice a low rasp. "The flame wanes because its heart is missing." "The heart?" Cora repeated, confused. "It is the source of the flame's power," another keeper explained. "It was stolen by one who wished to extinguish the light forever." Cora's mind raced. "Where is it now?" Quote, the third keeper extended a skeletal hand, pointing to a jagged hole in the wall. "Beyond the rift. Only the brave may retrieve it, but none who've tried have returned." Cora nodded, determination hardening her resolve. "Then I'll go. The veil needs the flame." The keepers exchanged a glance before handing her a small, glowing shard. "Take this. It is a fragment of the flame's heart. It will guide you, but only if you believe." The rift was a gaping chasm splitting the earth, its depths swirling with shadow and fire. As Cora descended, the shard's glow grew stronger, illuminating the jagged path. Suddenly, a monstrous roar echoed through the cavern. From the darkness emerged a creature of molten rock and flame, its eyes blazing with fury. "You seek the heart," it growled. "Then prove your worth." The creature lunged, its molten claws swiping at Cora. She dodged, using her hammer to deflect its fiery attacks. But each strike left her more exhausted, the heat sapping her strength. As the battle raged, the shard in her pocket began to pulse rhythmically. Cora realized it wasn't just a guide, it was a key. Diving past the creature, she held the shard aloft and thrust it into a glowing fissure in the cavern wall. Light erupted, blinding the beast and revealing a crystalline heart pulsating with energy. The creature howled, retreating into the shadows. Cora grabbed the heart, its warmth filling her with renewed strength. Cora returned to the Tower of Lanterns, battered but victorious. The keepers awaited her, their cloaks now shimmering faintly in the emberlight. Placing the heart into the brazier, she watched as the eternal flame roared back to life, its golden light spreading throughout the tower and beyond. The keepers bowed deeply. "You have saved the light, brave one. The Veil will remember your name." As Cora left the tower, the lanterns along the path burned brighter than ever, their glow dispelling the shadows. The villagers cheered her return, their faces alight with hope. Though her journey was over, Cora knew she had forged a bond with the flame, a bond that would guide her in times of darkness. The story ends here, but countless others await in the vast expanse of imagination. Subscribe to Storylight for more journeys into the unknown. See you on the next adventure.